12 impressions. That tiny number is all Morgan, a first-time science creator with a day job, sees after publishing a carefully researched video. The tempting story is that YouTube buried it. The useful story starts somewhere less dramatic. 12 isn't a diagnosis, it's a clue.
River, the first move isn't to rewrite the first 30 seconds. Before editing a good video, locate the route by which viewers could have encountered it. Search, home, suggested, subscriptions, and external links are different situations. A low total doesn't tell us which one failed to start.
Wait, if the thumbnail appeared 12 times, that's 12 people who rejected it, right?
Not necessarily. An impression has a definition. YouTube says the thumbnail must be visible for more than 1 second, with at least half visible. A notification, an email, an end screen, or an embedded player may send a view without entering that count. Back to the core. First, learn what the number includes.
Morgan opens Studio, selects the specific video, then Analytics and Content or Reach. The official report connects impressions, click-through rate, views from impressions, and watch time from impressions. That's a funnel for observation, not a machine that assigns blame.
So we have 3 questions. Was it shown? Did people choose it? And did those viewers stay? That's much better than staring at the public view count like it owes us an apology.
Exactly, Leo. File that away. In a minute, we will sort those questions by traffic source, because a search problem and a browse problem deserve opposite kinds of repairs.
Suppose Morgan posted the link in a neighborhood astronomy group and got 30 friendly clicks. Those are real viewers. They may be the start of a useful community, but they don't mean 30 YouTube thumbnail impressions because the group lives outside YouTube. A creator who mixes those measures can mistakenly call the thumbnail weak when nobody on YouTube was actually offered it.
There is another small but important distinction. An impression count can be low because the video is new, because the audience for that topic is narrow, because viewers saw it in places not included in the count, or because YouTube has not found a strong match yet. Those possibilities don't excuse weak packaging. They simply stop us from prescribing a thumbnail redesign before we know the patient.
Write down the date and the time window. A video at 6 hours and a video at 6 weeks are not the same case. Also write down whether Morgan changed the title, thumbnail, or description already. If you change the evidence while you're reading it, the next comparison gets muddy fast.
That's the boring part people skip because it feels like paperwork. Then a week later, every change gets credit for every result.
And remember that the report's purpose is to connect thumbnail impressions to views and watch time. It's not a scorecard for your worth as a creator. Use it to decide what to inspect next: the route, the promise, or the viewing experience. That order protects good work from random surgery. One guardrail before we proceed: we're not diagnosing a shadowban from a single upload. The data can support an observation, then a hypothesis, then one test. It doesn't give creators a private reason code for every recommendation decision.
Before changing the promise, identify the shelf. What would you check before changing your title? That is the next move. And then we separate the shelves. Before we keep going, one small favor that actually moves the needle. If this is landing for you, tap like, then subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss the rest. 2 taps, completely free, and it pushes this in front of more people who need it. The same low impression number means different things depending on the shelf. Search begins with a question. Home begins with a viewer. Suggested begins beside another video. Those are not interchangeable auditions.
That means Morgan should pick a shelf before touching the packaging.
Yes, for search, compare the viewer's wording with the title, description, and the spoken promise. YouTube says search weighs that match and engagement for that search. A video can be excellent and still be an awkward answer to the phrase a viewer typed.
Erica, for home, don't treat subscribers as a guaranteed delivery list. YouTube describes home as personalized using performance and a viewer's watch and search history. A broader topic can simply have a weaker audience match at that moment.
Suggested is the neighboring shelf. Ask what a viewer was watching immediately before your video could make sense. If Morgan's video is called A Better Telescope, but it solves a beginner buying question, the title may be poetic, while suggested needs a clearer bridge.
I'd have bet on thumbnail first, but the shelf changes the brief. Search needs an answer-shaped promise. Suggested needs a credible next step. Home needs a recognizable audience fit. Different games.
Different evidence too. A search phrase isn't proof that a new title will win. A related video pattern isn't proof that YouTube owes you a suggested slot. These are hypotheses you can make testable with one revision, not 3 revisions and a wish.
And not every video is eligible to be recommended on every surface. That's another reason to avoid a supernatural explanation when the available evidence is merely small.
Here is a practical search check. Put the phrase your ideal viewer would type in one column. Put the exact title in a second column. Put the first minute's answer in a third. If the phrase is how to photograph the moon with a telescope, but the title offers only a mood, the issue may be discoverability language, not quality. The remedy is clarity that the video can genuinely deliver.
And for home, I'd ask a different question. Who on this channel has previously watched this kind of promise? If the channel has taught advanced camera repair for months, and Morgan suddenly posts beginner moon photography, the new viewer fit may be less obvious. That doesn't make the topic bad. It changes the expectation for a first test.
Suggested deserves an honest neighboring video audit. Look at the videos an interested person already watches. Are they reviewing budget telescopes, showing camera settings, or explaining lunar phases? Then ask whether your title gives that viewer a sensible next reason to click. Don't copy another creator's packaging word for word. Identify the viewer job that connects the 2 videos.
A channel can also be in a season where the topic itself has less interest. YouTube notes that recommendation traffic can change as audience interests and topic popularity change. That's a context check, not an alibi. It means the same packaging change may meet a different sized pool of interested viewers.
Notice the discipline here. We're not declaring a cause. We're choosing the smallest useful next move. If the title is vague, clarify the promise. If the topic audience is unclear, make the next upload serve a better defined viewer. If a neighboring video bridge is weak, build it in the idea, not only in the tags.
One source, one test, then look again. That's a much calmer operating system.
Professor Havel, thank you for helping us separate a traffic report from a conspiracy story.
Glad to help. Keep the claim proportional to the evidence.
One source, one hypothesis, one change. That's enough for the next 48 hours.
Morgan now has a real note, almost no search traffic, a title that names a telescope but not the beginner decision, and no evidence that the first 30 seconds are the issue. So what changes first?
The promise, not the whole video.
Write the observation without a story attached. This video has little search traffic, and its title doesn't state the buying decision it answers. Then write the hypothesis. A clear, answer-shaped title may improve the match for a relevant search. That wording leaves room to be wrong. Good analysis should.
I like that it refuses the victory lap before there is a result. No secret lever. Just a clean experiment.
Then choose one change, Erica. For Morgan, best telescope for moon photos under $500 may answer a different intent more plainly than a better telescope. It's not clickbait if the video actually compares that budget and use case. If it doesn't, don't make the title promise it.
There is a second branch. If impressions arrive but viewers leave in the first 30 seconds, then packaging may have promised one thing and the opening delivered another. YouTube's retention report defines intro as the percentage still watching after 30 seconds. That's where you inspect the opening proof, not where you invent a distribution theory.
That's backwards from the panic move. We usually rewrite the hook before we know whether anyone saw it.
Right. Don't edit 5 variables at once.
Here is what I'd actually do. Protect the evidence. Save the original title, thumbnail, publish date, traffic mix, and the exact change you make. Return after enough time for the report to populate, then decide whether to keep that change, reverse it, or test the next hypothesis. That's how a low-impression video becomes useful information instead of a superstition.
No shadowban mythology, just a case file.
Build a small case file, not an elaborate dashboard. Record the publish date, the time period, impressions, click-through rate, views from impressions, traffic sources, and one sentence about what the title and thumbnail promise. Then add a separate line for what actually happens in the opening. This separates packaging from delivery before you decide where to work.
What if both the title and the opening are weak?
Then start with the truth problem. Make the title accurately name the viewer job, and make the first minute prove that job immediately, but still log the two decisions separately. Otherwise, when the next result changes, you will not know whether clearer packaging, a better opening, or a different topic did the work.
A useful title change isn't a ritual. YouTube says the effect can come from different viewer interaction with the changed packaging. That's why the honest question isn't, did the edit wake up the algorithm? It's, did this packaging now help the right viewer recognize a video they wanted? The second question produces better creative work.
That's backwards. I thought the dashboard tells you the answer. It tells you where to ask.
Yes, the dashboard is a map, not a verdict machine. Send this framework to the creator who keeps changing everything at once. They don't need another superstition. They need a baseline they can trust.
Finally, give the experiment a stop rule. If the new packaging is truthful but the traffic source's pattern doesn't improve after a reasonable observation window, don't keep polishing the same promise forever. Return to the viewer job. Perhaps the next video needs a narrower question, a stronger demonstration, or a more relevant companion topic. That's an editorial decision, and no single metric makes it for you.
No magic button. A better question.
Like this if you want more practical studio diagnostics, and subscribe for the next Creator Lab. Which traffic source would you investigate first on your last upload? Search, home, suggested, or external? Thanks for spending this time with us.